So Troy Millings and Rashad Balil, I think is how you pronounce his last name. They are the co-founders of Earn Your Leisure. I'm sure you've all heard of Earn Your Leisure on social media. They really took off probably during the pandemic with the topic of finances, investing. But good news is that they just dropped a new book. I actually have it in Audible or on Audible. I do audiobooks. So I'll be listening to that next, probably in the next few weeks. The book is titled You Deserve to Be Rich. And this video that I'm about to share kind of talks through what to expect in the book and kind of how they got here. I think this is great news. This is these two gentlemen, in my opinion, have become a pillar in the Black community around finance, and so I think we all should be following the steps that they have described over countless hours of content on YouTube and other platforms on social media. So definitely had to share this, help others who haven't heard of them discover them, and also help promote their book. So y'all tap in. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich for Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
They left that part out.
Yeah.
They're back. Rashad Balil and Troy Millings, founders of Earn Your Leisure. Their platforms. They have a new book out. It is brilliant. It's called You Deserve to Be Rich. Master the inner game of wealth and claim your future. So glad to have you back. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year. Happy to be here.
Millions look to you all for assistance when it comes to finance and money. Why is this the right time now for the book?
Well, we've been in existence for over 6 years now, and we have thousands of hours of content on YouTube and social media, podcast outlets, and it can become hard for people that just want to kind of know where to start.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We wanted to concise it, have the encyclopedia, talk about real estate, talk about stocks, talk about business, talk about all things that we've championed over the course of the last 5-6 years, but have it in a book format so people can go to it and have it as a reference point to navigate life.
Because people have been asking, when's the book coming out?
Exactly.
When's the book coming out like that?
Yeah.
Hey, it's the start of the new year, and people want to get their finances off on the right start. So what is your formula for an annual budget?
Yeah,
How should it break down?
We want to make sure that we have a plan, because if we don't, we're going to fail. All right, so we always created a plan out of the 100% of the money that we bring in. The first thing we want to do is have 55% of it going to spending, and not just frivolous spending. We're talking about your life necessities, your bills, your mortgage. These things add up over time, and we know that we have to allocate money for that. The next biggest piece is investing. This is the only way to build wealth, right? We know that we can work hard, but that's not going to get us there. So we want to make sure we invest 20% of the income. The next thing is saving, right? 15% of it needs to go to that, because there's always going to be emergencies. Somebody's going to need something. You might fall into a pitfall. You want to make sure that you have reserves. And last, 10% is always going to go to charitable. We're big on giving back, and so if that's part of our fundamentals, we want to make sure that people have it as well.
And again, you really just broke it down, and I really appreciated how you talked about generational wealth, building generational wealth. So let's help some folks this morning, okay? Because different times in your life, different seasons in your life, there are different strategies. So if somebody is in their 20s, what is the one thing they can do this year?
Well, they should definitely try to clean up their credit and pay off debt. That's important. So the snowball method is a strategy where you pay off smaller credit cards first and then use that money to pay off the larger amounts. So definitely that, and then also start to invest in the 401k and start to invest in the stock market in general.
And I love how you really break down, because not all 401ks are alike. And in the book, you break down what could work best for you. All right, 20s and 30s. Let's go 30s and 40s now. You got a young family. So what's the strategy there?
Young families are important, so now you're preparing for your future. So life insurance is something that you definitely want to make sure that you're looking into. You want to make sure that these policies are updated over time, because now you have children, you have a wife, you want to make sure your beneficiaries are updated. Next thing you want to do is make sure that you start planning for your future. College funds are important, 529 plans, and UTMA funds, right? UTMA accounts are important because instead of your kids asking for money at 18, you can invest in the wealthiest companies in in the world, and at 18, they'll have their own money.
Yeah, right. I remember when my dad, when I said, Daddy, can I have, or as opposed to, can you loan? If I said loan, that meant I had to give it back. Yeah, so there is a difference there. For those that are heading toward their retirement years, what is the strategy there?
You want to make sure your estate plan is in order. So your will, your trust, your beneficiaries are up to date. And you also want to look at annuities, because at this point in time, you're going to start taking money from your retirement accounts. So you want a secure, guaranteed investment, and annuities can provide that for you. So now you're kind of on the downward trajectory on the mountain. Everybody can make it up the mountain, but getting down is the most important aspect.
Yeah, and I'm not, because I'm approaching that time in my life and can be more conservative as far as some of the investments and that. What is the biggest mistake?
I think the biggest mistake is that people will invest in things they're not educated in. And so FOMO is a real thing in life, but it's also a real thing in finance. People will see words, Bitcoin, they'll hear about stocks, and they'll try to invest them on the way up, not really being educated in it, and that can cost you a lot.
And what's your final word to say to people who are going, okay, it's the start of the new year, I'm going to get this book, I deserve, and I love how earn your leisure, and what you mean by that, and how people can attain that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to start. I think that's the hardest part for people. Everybody puts together a plan for New Year. I want to lose weight. I want to become financially free. And then 2 weeks into it, that plan gets abandoned. So, break it down into small steps. Don't be discouraged. Start. If it's $100 a month that you're saving, that's good. Work on that. If you're trying to pay off one credit card, work on that. If your goal is to, have a will by February, work on that. But the most important thing is not to get discouraged and to start.
Yeah, the secret to getting ahead is just getting started.
Yes.
It's just getting started. Gentlemen, I said we were going to have you back, and I'm so glad that we did. And congratulations on just the impact that you're making in so many lives. Could you have ever imagined this when you started this 6 years ago?
I couldn't imagine it, but I'm so happy that we're here and we're, changing so many lives at the same time.
Yeah, because you're doing it the right way.
Absolutely.
With heart. All right.
That's dope. Glad to see it. Like I said, I first heard of them, they said 6 years ago, so just before the pandemic, it sounds like. I heard of them, probably around there, 2019. But I really started hearing them for the most part through 2020 and beyond. And I agree with a lot of what they say. Like even I like the last part of just starting, right? A lot of us get caught up on the end of our plan. How we're looking at how much debt we have, or we'll say, for example, we look at how much debt we have, right? And we say, well, I don't know how to tackle all of that, right? And it's really literally about just getting started, right? And I say that because it's very true, very close to my heart, because that's exactly what I did when I started off with $40,000 in debt, most of that student loans, and I literally started out with just $100 a month. And how I started with $100 a month, and I got up to, I think the most I put in 1 month was like $5,000 or $6,000. My average was closer to about $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month. But my low was $100 a month, and my high again was like $5,000 or $6,000 in 1 month. And the key thing that I learned that I learned throughout was that once you start, you start to not only attract things that help you along the way, but you start to notice, you start to find other ways to increase that, right, and to attain the thing that you're focused on, right? And that's what you have to do. You have to start, and you have to stay focused on it. I like using the example when I talk about this in particular. I like using the example of, when someone tells you about like a new car or something that comes out that you haven't seen yet, right? They tell you, oh, have you seen that, 2025, I don't know, BMW, right? And you're like, no, I haven't seen that yet. And then you walk outside, and like 30 minutes later, you see one drive by, right? It's it's not that you had never seen it before. You just never locked in and focused on it, right? And so you didn't even know that in a sense existed until someone brought it up, and then you started your brain shifted and started focusing on that. And the same thing happens when you're getting out of debt, right? When you first start, it's like you don't even know how you're going to tackle certain things to get there. And then once you just say, you know what, I'm just going to lock in and focus, you'll start to notice other opportunities and other ways of accomplishing your goals. And that's just across the board, really. I mean, if you you can apply that to not only just finance, but your physical health, your mental health, just overall goals in life, right? So that I wanted to highlight as like a really big takeaway, because everything else that they described in the beginning of the video, while makes sense and is very accurate, none of that matters if you don't know how to just start. You can have all the tools in your belt, but if you don't know how to start, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So definitely a good video. Again, I am going to start this book probably early February, as I wrap up this book that I'm in. But definitely y'all make sure y'all go check out You Deserve to Be Rich. Rashad Balil and Troy Millings. Earn Your Leisure. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. All right. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.